We must know clearly the difference between mobilization and organization.
So I made a video about how the era of marching, holding signs is over, and now we are in a new phase. And a lot of people got really mad at me about it and were like, why are you trying to discourage people from protesting? And I want to reiterate that this is exactly what I meant. And Kwame Ture, of course, says it better than I could. Yes, it does take all kinds of engagement and all kinds of action to bring down a system, to bring about change. However, the least effective forms are the big marches. The Women's March, the Climate March, like all of the big marches, which have parade permits, by the way. These are mobilization actions. I believe strongly that they are built in by the state to allow the people to express themselves, to feel like they're getting involved, to be able to say, like, that you were participating, that you definitely did the thing, that you can tell your kids that when it came time to it, you were in the march. But what do they do in the end? Nothing. And why? Because you are getting a bunch of people out for a one-day activity, but it is a one-day activity. And then people go home thinking that they've done the thing. They don't leave with any phone numbers, any names, any organizations to join. They leave with nothing except for that feeling that they were there. It basically encourages people to individualize that feeling so they can say that they did their part. Like, it's just like voting, when it's like the system itself is what we need to be tackling at all times. And I will go a step further and say that these events become events, essentially. They become just another concert, another thing to consume. And in a consumerist system, there are many ways in which we are subtly allowed to consume engagement in political action. Again, I am not saying to not participate in these kinds of actions. What I'm saying is that when you go, don't leave without having made a couple of new connections, right? Whether it's an organization, whether it's literal people that you marched with, that you can stay in contact with, that you can go to another action or do more with. You need to organize. And organizing means doing all kinds of things that bring you together, create community. Creating community, as I've said before, around values, rather than around identity, rather than around similarity. Creating community around values is the only thing that's going to help us right now. I'm going to make another video following this one about how and ways to get involved if you're not the joining a political group kind of person, which is just fine. Perhaps I can also simplify it by putting it like this. We're past the stage of asking. We need to be telling. A big march is asking. It's saying to the people in power, hey, this many people who are marching and holding signs, this many people care about this thing and want you to do something about it. It's asking. But we know by now that these people don't care what we have to say. Organizing, on the other hand, is telling. It's creating. It's saying, we don't need you. This is what we're going to do without you. And more importantly, it's completely eliding the people in power and stepping past them, just ignoring them and going straight to the other people around you and going, this is what we need to do, let's do it.